Season 2 begins with the royal servant drying a blanket. Young master, it has been 3 months since Seo left to find Kedart. Has it been that long already? Jeez, the kid is cold-hearted. After he became my disciple, he said he was going to wait for the chance to kill me. But sometimes I think he's very cunning. I'm still so anxious every day. He's always making me worry over absurd things. Does he know how worried I am every time he does that, Sir Moroccan? Don't worry, Strawberry Pay. When the 7 colors looked into this, didn't they find that Kedart adores Jin? So there won't be any problem. Jin has that old man wrapped around his finger. I understood that as I made Kedart fall in love with me or something. Young master, kid, she said, you're back. You seem healthy too. I'm so glad. Jin replied, yeah, I am back, Gilly. This is the grimoire I got from him. Transpose it for me. The screen changes in the castle of Garden of Swords. Inside the castle, the Rukandle family with a meal together. Jin Gray, the prime suspect who killed Kedart Hall. Who the hell are you? Why did you kill Kedart Hall? And what is the reason why you secluded yourself? Unfortunately, it is assumed that the essence of counterflow magic is in the eternal storeroom of the Yahello Holy Kingdom. I am certain that's the youngest reverse flag bearer identity. He replayed Haytona. The brothers are here. Don't tell me that's the youngest? Jin Gray is a common name, he whispered. Hey, the youngest is amazing. But Kedart is a 9-star mage. There's no way, so please. Geez, these stupid siblings foe yours. You haven't even met a 9-star mage, but you're talking bullshit. To think they'll become reserve flag bearers in a few months. What's wrong, Sister Mew? It's cute that they're saying stupid things. So cute that I want to kill them. Another brother replied, everyone shut up. You're disrupting the meal, huh? Sister, we can't even talk about these things. I told you to shut up. Mew said, why didn't you say anything when the Tona siblings were talking? But you said something when I talked. He replied, that's enough, Mew. If you say one more thing, I am going to. Alright, that's enough. It's been a while since we've all eaten together. Don't get angry. And I also think that the youngest could kill Kedart Hall. Even you, eldest brother. Of course, T's impossible for the youngest to do it alone. It would be possible if that child, Yona, helped him. That's enough, brother. Are you being wary of Jin, a young reserve flag bearer? And you're also dragging Yona into this too. I am sick of these ploys, Mew said. Eldest brother, can you take responsibility for your words about Yona helping? It's just speculation, so there's no need to take responsibility. A 9-star mage has died, but the cause of his death has not been revealed. Unless it was done by Nameless, it would be a difficult feat. Nameless, currently the best assassin organization. It has been a while since Yona joined that group under father's orders. That's what I think. In order for the youngest to bring attention to himself, he made a deal with Nameless, and Yona, who feels like she was abandoned by the family, helped Jin to make him side with her. Mew replied, brother, since long ago, you've been hoping something bad happened to Yona, but now you're just blatantly saying it. Why would she suddenly get involved with the youngest? I also agree. If Yona did help him, it explains the missions the youngest did during his cadet days. And Yona, Comfort Women, is currently with Nameless, but I'm curious to see what she thinks about the family. Don't talk too much and insult Yona, brother. If you insult Yona again, I will put my hand in your mouth. Stop. Don't continue. Don't go overboard, Mary. The more you react like this, the more things will go the way Brother Joshua wants it to. Sure, there's no way that I, the 7th flag bearer, can speak up against the 2nd flag bearer. But let's all remember one thing. If we hurt Yona, Father won't just stand by and let that happen. You sometimes need to be more blunt, brother. If you're scared of Yona, you can just defeat her with the sword and make her your underling. Stop instigating these things with threats. This isn't the Rukandle way. Huh, then you should unsheath your sword, Diffus. What? Why should I? Everyone in the room was silent and did not answer. A 9-star mage has been murdered and Jin Gray's name was left at the scene. If it's Jin Gray, it has to be him. He replied, right. So, Dante, can you give me some of your time? He replied, time. Right now? No, not right now. Sometimes tomorrow or after that. Let's go meet with Jin. Then let's start tomorrow. At the banquet hall, Donnie Hiron and Veridon Zippel were talking to each other. There was a report that the relationship between the Zippel and Hiron families wasn't great, but with this, it's confirmed. The Zippel are connected to Kedart Hall's death, and Veridon gave some information to Dante. The Zippel family might be looking after their allies more, and cutting ties with families with them. Kedart Hall is a good example of Thid. It doesn't matter if this is true or not. This will be a good reason to suppress the Zippel family's movement. Leak relefs informasi to TH Press. He answered, I understand. Those Zippel bastards are moving hastily. Wick is unlike them. It's as if someone is controlling them. I am not sure who is, but it's hard to keep up with them. Don't go, Brother Jin, play with Julia, he said. Julia, young master Jin is very busy. Please understand, Julia. Young master, your nanny is sad. You couldn't even rest properly. To think we have to depart right away, and we're going to the nameless village, Samil. Why are you going to such a dangerous place? Jin answer, I need to get something. There's also someone I want to meet. Know someone who's living in Samil. She is Miss Yona. I heard he left the family after becoming a reserve flag bearer, but the youngest is going around doing some incredible things. I'm looking forward to seeing how strong he is. I wonder if he's going to come to Samil. I want to play with him. Oh, while Sir Jin is gone, I'm going to leave my post for a bit as well. Did something happen? I forgot something in Beam It. So father called him, got it. Be careful on your trip. Kiddo, I'm done with what you asked. Jin answer, Murakhan, well done. Come here. I will inscribe it on your back. Good. With this, you should be able to use Kiddard Hall's magic without any issues. Feels like I've finally obtained a proper weapon after Flash Cannon. I took a good look while decoding it, and they weave pretty useful spells. Even if mages below 7-star rush you in a group, you should be able to take them down at once. Jin answer, alright, then, shall I test them out immediately? This is Shadow Key Liberation. Will first be shaped like a blob of energy. Ooh, it's working proper. Sir Jin, Q. Miss Enya, shoot, did she get caught? Miss Enya, are you okay? With a bruised face she replied, that was deathly good. I'm okay, so could you do it one more? You're here, Lady Quicontel. Enya, this girl has reached the point where she's now sexually harassing you. It's getting worse day by day. It's my fault, Lady Quicontel. I will apologize when Miss Enya wakes up. Apologize? She reaped what she's sown? Never mind that. Did you say you are going to Samil? Jin replied, yes, that's correct. You already heard. As you may already know, the entire city of Samil is essentially a giant training ground for the nameless. Even visitors are not free from the dangers of assassination. With your current level, you'll be able to hold out against the nameless cadets. But the longer you survive in Samil, the stronger the people that come looking for you are. In the end, the best assassins will start targeting you. I'm hearing that for the first time. It's not just for you. Even your sister's survival can't be guaranteed against the real assassins of the nameless. So, take this with you. This is, she replied, it's something the assassins of the nameless treasure. Lady Quicontel said, if an assassin you cannot handle ambush you, show that to them, you'll be able to live if you do. Jin replied, thank you, Lady Quicontel. I don't know how I could repay this debt. The better you do, the less stress my contractor becomes. Just help with Enya's training when you come back, understood? Then I will be back. September 4th, 1796. In the scorching desert, there was a merchant man who brought a horse-drawn carriage. In the horse-drawn carriage, Jin rode to the town of Samil, arrived at the destination Assassin City Samil, southern entrance. The guard said, stop. You cannot enter without the nameless card. This definitely is a nameless card. Reason for your visit. Jin replied, I'm just here for experience. It'll be an interesting experience for you then. Go inside. You can take your nameless card back when you leave. I've got one question. The guard said, what is it? Is it after entry that the nameless rules apply to visitors? The situation suddenly changed. The merchant who drove Jin attacked, but Jin easily defeated him. Seems like they apply before entry. Seeing as how you kept on spewing killing intent, I say you have no talent in assassination. Go find a different job. Jin said, are you going to come at me as well? The guard replied, we learn assassination, not martial arts. We don't do head-on fights. Okay, I will enter the gate. The milk-white color that represents the nameless stems from the confidence of not leaving a trace of blood even when wearing white clothes. There's definitely someone in front of me, but I almost don't feel any presence. It's more beautiful than I imagined, but this is creepy. In this clean and quiet city, only the cadets who achieve assassination results for a long time without getting caught BT anyone become the assassins of the nameless hall that is erected far over there. The visitors are only a special training target. Every other day they kill each other. For that reason, is have to high of an assassination risk. I don't want to suffer like the Cosmos competitive arena again. So, shall I pick appropriately? I can't even. You want a room? Yes, that's correct. In Samil, where assassinations are permitted with the nameless cadet. Jin replied, that's correct. The reason why you're not going to an inn is, it's because I don't want too many guests coming at night. That's unpleasant. You can't kill me. My action must have felt like a kind of taunt to him. Come in, I won't take the room fee, because you'll pay it with that life of yours. Use the room upstairs. Don't worry. I won't touch you while you're using the room. No traps. I can sleep easily at least. Then, let's plan what I should do from. What was that? A clapping sound. I didn't feel anything though. Behind Jin, someone is seen upstairs, and who is it? Whoa, I almost got found out. I saw someone that resembled our youngest roaming around the city. so I followed him just in case. But the moment I saw Bradamani, I got so excited that I unknowing, it really is the youngest. Did I hear wrong? That was definitely a clap, and it came from the ceiling. Am I hearing things because I'm nervous? He's being very wary. Well, it's natural that he'd be wary, since this is Samil. Did our youngest just sense my presence? His mind's eye seems to have opened a little bit. At such a young age, I'm so proud of him, being his elder sister. I can't simply let this slide. I'll play with you properly. I mean, I have no choice but to train you properly. Look forward to it, our youngest. This sister will play. I mean, make you strong. For a day later, the hotel owner said, I want you to leave now. Jin replied, do you need the fee? He answered, didn't I say I don't need it from the start? Then why all of a sudden? Simple. I've given up on assassinating you. I acknowledge my failure. When I first saw you carrying the nameless card, I guessed that you were the successor of some famous martial household. And seeing how you're young, I thought you'd achieve great feats from when you were little. But I didn't expect this much. I didn't catch you lacking even once. I acknowledge you. I'm not on a level to be able to kill you. I was alert the past for days while gathering information due to that unknown presence. Him saying that he couldn't catch me lacking. Was it thanks to that? Trying to assassinate a visitor and failing is a huge deducting factor. Also, I have a promotion review coming up. Since I've given up, I want you to leave. But my skills have been stagnating lately, so I got to learn something thanks to you. In that sense, I'll give you some advice. When you're facing an assassin, you have to think that you're facing a magician or a swindler. The people you'll face the moment you leave this house will be those kinds of people. I wish you the best of luck. Jin said, thanks you and goodbye. Advice. Why would he? After exiting the door, Jin found a lot of traps. Above the hotel there is an assassin who is targeting Jin. The assassin shot a bullet, but Jin easily parried it with a sword. Jin jumped to the top of the hotel and met 3 assassins with weapons. The traps are activated and everything leads to Jin. Jin draws the sword to withstand all the traps. Then all the traps stuck to Jin's sword. 2 assassins quickly attacked Jin with 2 knives. But with one slash of the sword, the assassin's face was immediately knocked out. Then Jin attacked the one remaining assassin, and the effect of the Jin attack destroyed the roof of the hotel. The hotel owner was shocked. The hotel owner said, what the hell? What are you doing? Just take it now. I can't live being indebted to someone. The high-rank cadets that are even higher in level than mid-rank cadet like me were. Then, I'll actually leave this time. After that, Jin deflected the arrow attack. Poison arrows after traps now. I don't know who it is, but it's starting to become trick. Jin avoided all the arrows by jumping up and looking for enemies. Damn it, it's hard to predict because I don't know how many are after me. Since it's come to this, looking for the enemies instead of hiding will be more. For enemies appeared to surround Jin. Jin drew his sword and slashed them one by one with ease. Jin said, damn it, how many more enemies will chase me? Hundreds of arrows attacked again. Jin kept running away and looking for a safe place. Yona said, that's our youngest. He's dealing with it more flexibly than I thought. Staying next to him and checking his level for days was a good idea, you know? So suffered just a bit longer. Youngets, if we keep playing like this for about a week, your mind's eye will open completely. But if you're weaker than I think and end up dying in the middle, it'll be sad, but I guess that can't be helped. Yup, dying in the middle of training is pretty common. Try your best so you don't die. Youngest. And finally victory is in Jin's hands. The battle arrows were everywhere. All the assassins were battered and fainted. They're systematic. All the cadets are moving under someone's orders. Whichever damn bastard it is, I'm definitely going to find and fuck them. I guess things went better than I thought. Seeing as they can move the cadets en masse like this, I gather they'd be one of nameless best assassins, but it was Yona Newman. That's better since I'll be justified in saying what I want after enduring all of it. For example, all poison wine. I can ask for that even more brazenly. There are too many poisons in the world I cannot handle, even with the gifted body of Runcandle. The best example is Timyun's hound, Kuyan. His poison was critical. It's a secret miracle medicine that is handed down only to the best assassins of the nameless. Adentos who rank it become something close to immune to all poison. The youngest to ever become the best assassin of the nameless, Yona Newman, also had the all-poison wine. As she had resistance to poison from birth, she didn't need to drink it, and ended up being fooled by Nunam and handed the all-poison wine to her in the end. And Nunam was definitely on Josh's side, even in my previous life. In the case, I'll have to snatch up a fire it becomes a part of the enemy's force. Take away things that will be helpful, and worsen what will be harmful for the enemy. But, in order to accomplish that, I'll have to endure Yona Nunam's pranks. Today is a night game with Yona. The assassins continue to appear attacking Jin. But during the fight none of the assassins could do any damage to Jin. On the contrary, the assassins were defeated and destroyed. You, hidden over there, come out. You don't seem to be the nameless cadets. Are you outsiders like me? Jin said, I'm a bit on edge since I have been getting chased for 2 days in a row. It'd be better for you to show yourself while I'm asking. 2 friends replied, Hi Jin. Greetings lad. Jin said, What's up with you all? Why are you guys here? He replied, Hey, what's up with the cold shoulder? You know how hard we've been looking for you. That's right. I even had to use my secret fund to get a nameless card at the end. Jin Gray, you unsympathetic, asshole, heartless asshole. Jin replied, Whatever. Just tell me why you came here. Because I wanted to see you. Because I missed the night in the competitive arena. Jin said, Fine, sure, let's say that's the case. So, what are you doing here? He replied, About that. We used up all of our funds trying to find the nameless card in a hurry. So we had no choice but to renowned clan's children dining and dashing, huh? I'll pay for your food here since you said you did it while looking for me. He replied, Really? You're gonna have to be worth the money. So that's what it was. I will show my strength here. After practicing for a few days. Will this be enough? What are they? Something wrong. What's wrong, Yona? You look surprised. Al 85th generation nameless king. Listen, Yona. Even if it's you, you cannot make more mess than this. You've destroyed several cadets' houses already. That's not what's important right now, Sir Al. I'm playing with the youngest. But some guys are interrupting. What? Who's getting in Yona's way? Over there. Who dares to? The guy at the front is Yona's younger brother, and the guys behind him are the interim heads of the Zippel and Hiren families. I'll personally go and take care of them. Wait, if you go down there, they'll die. That's what I'm trying to do. Why, my younger brother is here. He's the first family member to come to visit me, but they're getting in my way. I haven't even talked to the youngest properly. If you want to kill them that badly, then how about this, Yona? We'll play a game. Yona replied, A game? Yes, a game about their survival from tonight for a total of 3 rounds. We'll send real killers instead of cadets. If they die, you win, but if they survive, you lose. Yona replied, What? Then the chances of the youngest dying increased drastically. I hope the youngest wouldn't die. He played with me for 2 days. He's really kind. Then you have to watch those 3. Seriously, fine. I'll do it. Yona said, Instead, you can't interfere, Sir Al. I'm going to choose the killers too. Sir Al replied, Yeah, don't worry. More importantly, do you know how many houses have been destroyed in Samil? 37. Since that's the result of you sending cadets to play with your brother. Write a reflection. I stopped Yona from personally getting involved. The future of Nameless was almost in danger. Alright, I need to move quickly. As soon as I said we wouldn't be ambushed during the day, they fell asleep. Dante, his body is still weak, but his swordsmanship has become sharper. I'm certain he has upskilled himself by learning Hiren's secret technique. On the other hand, that bastard, Verid, and I have no idea what he's thinking. For someone who felt worlds apart from me in my previous life, because he was a genius to come to find me with no ulterior motive and help me so he can earn money for food, we might actually die too. How can I utilize these guys and protect them from what will happen tonight? I'm certain that Sister Yona will send more skilled assassins. How do I prepare for that? I couldn't feel his presence at all. The best killer of Nameless? No. Besides Sister Yona, there is no reason why the best killer would test me. But that means, Rung Candle's lowest rank greets the 85th generation Nameless King. Sir Al said, You're not scared. Your vigor is good. Sir Chiron has obtained a treasure for his bottom seat. However, you're a little rude for not changing your posture when you noticed who I was. Jin replied, I dared to act brave even though I don't know if the Master of the White will spare my life since Rung Candles are not afraid of death. You're arrogant. Why did he come here? Since the king has personally come here. Perhaps, is the reason why you came here. Related to Sister Yona? Here in Samil, even Sir Chiron conserves the amount of words he says. How dare this mere bottom seat mention Yona's name? What kind of pressure is this? I can't breathe. This arrogant bastard. The reason why you're still arrogant after making such a mess is because you have Yona's backing. To think he reacted like this just because I mentioned Sister Yona's name. Why? Ripping you to shreds wouldn't be enough, but because of Sir Chiron, I will overlook it once. So there was a reason why he brought up father's name, to spare me once for one mistake. I'm sorry, I dared to speak out of turn because I am still inexperienced. If you would like to punish me, I will gladly accept it. From tonight onwards, real killers wearing white masks will come. I don't care about you, but those who cannot die. So listen to what I say and execute it. Jin said, Are you punishing me by sending real killers instead of cadets? Sir Al replied, It's a game that Yona has started with the lives of those 2 on the line. Is he telling me to interfere with Sister Yona's game? But why is he going through the trouble? Don't tell me. The Nameless King cannot control Sister Yona. What is Sister Yona to the Nameless King? No, the whole of Nameless. The killers will come 3 times, travel together, and find the central part of the city. If you can do that, you will be able to survive one day, and the next day, you must send those 2 outside the city. So, you're saying I must stay here alone? Is my life on the line? Do you have a reward you would like? Please give me the elixir of 10,000 poisons. Crazy bastard. Even if Sir Chiron asked, I would not be able to allow it. Fine, that should be equivalent to the price of your life. However, you must save those to interim patriarchs. I will definitely keep my promise. Lastly, I will give you one warning. If one is determined enough, one can kill anyone. However, do you know the reason why we don't use this power recklessly? When you possess a powerful weapon, you're more fearful. And if you swing your weapon carelessly, a strong wrath will befall you. As someone who knows this well, why did you mention Yona? Don't tell me he didn't know about our relationship with Yona. That's why he asked if the reason why I came here was because of Yona. To think I didn't know that and got angry, endangering a young boy. How shameless. Yes, that's a good answer. Then, I'll see you in 3 days. And he ran away. So he's telling me to send them away. I'm sorry, but I have no reason to obey your words, Sir Owl. The three of them ran quickly to leave the city of Samil. Jin said, from today, we'll be chased by real killers instead of cadets. You need to focus. They replied, even if our enemies are stronger, we haven't seen anyone yet. Why are we in such a hurry? That's right, it is only just starting to turn dark. When I was fighting against cadets, I felt their presence as soon as the sun went down, and as soon as it was dark, daggers were thrown at me. But right now, I can't feel anything, to be honest. I do feel something. I can't feel their presence, but I feel something closing in on us. It feels like we're being chased by a hunter. I knew that there was a difference between cadets and killers, but this is on another level. On the other hand, Yona was watching Jin and said, as expected of the youngest, he's already on the move. Sir Al said, to send high-ranking killers first. Are you really planning to kill your brother? Your brother is quick to catch on, so he's running away right now. But when the attacks start, he'll die without being able to do anything. If that happens, the two guys behind will die too. That won't happen. The youngest mind's eyes have opened. He has the mind's eye at such a young age. It seems like he's moving on instinct, but that is not the case. I'm certain he feels something, even though it's not much. In the past few days, his mind's eye has started to open. Yona looks very happy to see Jin's rapidly increasing strength. Sir Al said, it's the first time I've seen Yona react like this. On the other hand, Jin arrived at a crossroads. Suddenly in front of them there was an explosion like someone threw a bomb. After the explosion came out thick smoke. Not long after that, Jin realized in the smoke issued a lot of kunai and knives. The weapon flew attacking the three of them. After that the fight began. Behind Jin appeared assassins preparing to attack. Jin can feel the presence of assassins and parry their attacks. From behind Jin, his friend cast ice magic, and the assassins' heads became ice in an instant. He said, look at that person's head, Jin, like ice cream. Jin replied, don't joke with the assassins. You'll die if you're not careful. Ice only lasts 2 seconds. Assassins are free, then immediately attack Jin with kunai. Jin said, if we drag things out here, the killers waiting to ambush us will come. We don't have time to go against them one by one. He replied, I got it. I'll run toward our destination. You call yourselves killers, but you can't even catch me. How strange. Why are they keeping their distance instead of catching up to us? And Jin's guess is right. There is one assassin who is still hiding, trying to attack. They eat each other and make plans. Veridin said, I didn't know it would turn out like this. Jin replied, stop saying ridiculous things and prepare yourself. Use the strongest magic you can. Veridin said, give me 10 minutes. I need to focus to get this ready. Veridin begins to focus and cast large fireball magic. That magic is called Annihilating Thousand Fire's first form. Enormous magic power. This is dangerous. Jin was also surprised to see that magic that has high explosive power. How he learned that? A couple hundred years age, a former patriarch of the Zippel family, demonic Emperor Rial Zippel, used this magic once in his life. On the other hand, for assassins attacked Dante together. But Dante took out Hiron's secret technique, Emperor's Sword Dragon Sword Armor. All the assassins in Danny's range were hit by the sword slash. Jin said, I've never seen that skill before. Did he make that with his aura, a secret technique that lets you defend and counterattack? It seems like he trained a lot in the time I haven't seen him. It's not just Dante. Veridin is really incredible too. Can he really control that vast amount of mana at such a young age? That secret technique from a legend magic. But suddenly Veridin apologized for making a mistake. With a geeky face, Veridin removes the fire magic he made. Jin was surprised by Veridin's ridiculous behavior. The enemy was also surprised to see that. After that, Dante talked to Jin to run away. He immediately ran and brought Veridin. It's been a while, so I think I forgot the technique. I'm getting mana counterflow. Jin replied, shut up. Stop spilling blood everywhere. Run until you reach the location I mentioned. Even if you have to die, you must catch them. If we don't capture them tonight, Miss Yona is going to personally train us. On the other hand, Yona, who saw them, felt something strange, because they know about the restricted killing zone Samil Central area, the place where relatives and benefactors of the nameless killers live. This area is a safe zone and killers can't get close for a while. As long as there are no emergencies or enemy invasions, the nameless killers must follow the tradition of not using any weapon within that area. Yona is still questioning about Jin, who knows about Samil Central City, but Sir Owl still doesn't admit that he told Jin. With a smile, Yona didn't believe Sir Owl's words and said he was late breaking the first promise. Yona said, "Tomorrow night, I'm going to fight them." Owl, the king of Nameless, the best assassin organization. To him, Yona is more than a daughter. She possesses incredible talent no other assassin can come close to. She was given various nicknames like the one who was born to be an assassin and the second coming of the god of murder. That is what the small minority of witnesses have said about the dormant thing inside her, a blade stained with chaos. Like I've said before, I will personally fight them. As you have broken our promise, you must not interfere. Sir Owl replied, "There's nothing I can do now. I can't stop Yona anymore. I just need to hope that Jin Candle is able to get the Hiren and Zippel interim patriarchs out of here. It's already night. It's time for the two people with my brother to die. He's clever, so he will follow my order because he understands the severity of the situation." Sir Owl feels bad that he has to deal with Yona, but there's no other choice. The sky is dark. It's time for Yona to intervene to hunt down Jin. On the other hand, the Jin team is still sleeping soundly. Sir Owl was surprised by their behavior. In a state of danger, they could still sleep. Yona said, "How dare chat and giggle with the youngest in front of me? I haven't even talked to him yet." But before Yona attacked, Jin raised his hand and showed the silver dragon's claw. Why aren't there any reactions to this? If it goes as I predicted, the killers should have said something after seeing this. No matter how many times Jin experienced this, it gives me goosebumps. Jin said, "You were here. Long time no see, older sister Yona. And I greet the 85th Nameless King for the first time. It seems like you knew we were going to be here. You fed your friends sleeping medicine, since it won't be great for them to know too much." Sir Owl said, "Then I'll get straight to the point and ask you, where did you get the silver dragon's claw?" Jin replied, "I got it as a gift from a silver dragon I came to know during my travels." Sir Owl replied, "Since you were holding it up and waiting, it seems like you know how it's used. If you show that to a nameless killer, no matter the situation, you can survive. Because according to our ways, there is no one we can't kill. If you hand that to us, we can guarantee your life." Then Jin wanted to ask something. Why teal killers were pursuing me instead of cadets? Is Sister Yona wary of me because I'm a rung candle? Sir Owl replied, "Yona and I made a bet. I bet that your friends would survive and Yona the opposite. And thanks to you, I won the bet. And the fact that I didn't tell you this isn't for your sake. So, from today onwards, there will not be any killers going after you. And all nameless killers, including Yona and myself, will not harm you three. This promise will be kept for the next 10 years, and as long as your family does not attack us, this decision cannot be reversed." A huge variable has disappeared. Jin don't need to worry about Nameless coming after he while Jin at war with my siblings. Sir Owl said, "Additionally, since you obtain the silver dragon's claw, I will give you a reward. We'll discuss what you would like as your reward later." After she finished talking to Sir Owl, Yona wanted to talk to Jin one-on-one. But with embarrassment, she didn't know where to start the conversation. A Rung Candle Reserve flag bearer is with the interim patriarchs of the Zippel and Hiren families. I'm sure Sir Joshua didn't expect this either. This is good news. There is something between Miss Yona and that reserve flag bearer. Since we've gained an understanding of the situation, we'll soon have lots of evidence. The level of the assassins who are in pursuit of the reserve flag bearer is increasing. The reason for that is unknown, but we can see that it's very high-level training. Our liege says we cannot kill the reserve flag bearer yet, so everyone must be careful. The story is back at Yona and Jin's place. Yuna said, "Jin, I have no intention of fighting you. I actually want to help you grow." Jin replied, "So you sent dozens of killers after me." Thaw's right. Come to think of it, who are they? They Verid and Zippel and Dante Hiren. To think a Rung Candle is associating himself with a Zippel and a Hiren. You're very unique. Jin said, "Is it shame that you couldn't kill then?" Yona replied, "Yeah, but the silver dragon's claw is more important." Jin replied, "Then you'll probably report the fact that I was with them to the family." Yona said, "Why would I? If I do, you might die or get hurt. If that hadn't been what you meant to do, you wouldn't have methodically sent those killers." Jin asked about Yona's purpose in ordering assassins to hunt him down, and Yona thought he was a toy. But not so. While crying, she explained that she only wanted to play with Jin. Elsewhere, the two Kanyals are still fast asleep. "Weren't you the best killer? I'm sure you would have been trained to suppress your emotions." Yona said, "I could kill people well without doing that." Jin replied, "Did you kill people before you came to Nameless?" "I'm sure she was sent here when she was around 12 years old." Yona replied, "When I was 8, maybe. When I was at the Strong Castle, one of the cousins was annoying me, so I killed them. After that, my nanny, who was in charge of my education, vanished. When I was at the Strong Castle and the main estate, our brothers and sisters were there, but I was forbidden from eating and doing my cadet training with them. So I thought I was being punished for killing our cousin, but I was wrong. I accept missions here and kill people." Yona was born with the talent to kill. The reason why father took people away from sister Yona was stop his other children from dying prematurely. Although Yona's past is sad, she is now very happy because she can tell everything to Jin. Yona really isn't normal. She probably doesn't feel any guilt from killing someone, but that doesn't mean she lacks other emotions. It was a choice that had to be made at the time in order to protect the other young children. But was it really the right decision for him to shun his daughter like this? Jin said, "You were treated as a killing doll since you were young." Yona replied, "The youngest has yet to kill anyone. When you were fighting, you purposely didn't kill anyone." Then Yona can also guess the secret of Jin's power, the power of the Shadow Master. Yona said, "To be precise, something inside me is scared of you. From the first moment I saw you, it kept telling me this, to kill you. You're making me speechless in multiple ways. Think of it as me liking you so much that I'm going against my instincts. And with that, I want you to like me too." Jin replied, "We have no fond memories between us yet, though." "Then how about I threaten? I'll pressure you by saying if you don't like me, I'll kill you." Jin said, "Then normally, people would distance themselves from you. Should I give you the elixir of death house and poison? Thought the only reason why my siblings come to find me. That's why you came here. I don't need something like that, so take it." Jin replied, "No, even if you give me the elixir or 10,000 poisons, I won't change." Yona said, "Then what do you want me to do? Just what do I need to do for you to like me?" Jin replied, "I can finally be close with my family. The moonlight in Samil is very bright." Then to calm things down, Jin took Yona out for a walk, and Yona can only say yes to Jin's invitation. Flowers are seen in the night atmosphere blowing in the wind. They walked in the house that was damaged by the fight yesterday. Yona said, "There, that is the place I like. Do you want to see it? That place is actually off limits to visitors." Yona jokes, "There's no way you would die even if you fell from a place that high." And they arrived at the beautiful night flower garden. Green roses, they absorb moonlight. They look very pretty. Yona said, "They don't die easily even if they're stepped on, or if they aren't watered often. And even if they do die, new flowers soon bloom spot." With a happy face, Yona picked some green roses to give to Jin. Jin said, "I've received them several times in this life, and I have forgotten. But in my previous life, someone left green roses in my room on occasion, a branch with 2 rose buds. Even on the day I was tormented by my siblings, and on the day I was chased from Tay Garden a sword. When I was going through a tough time, they were in the inner pocket of my robe." Jin accepted Yona's gift of flowers and said, "It's beautiful like you." Then they continued talking about Yona trying to kill the nameless king, but she failed. Yona said, "Who's the silver dragon who gave you their claw? I'm going to kill them. I'm going to pluck all their claws out and use them." Jin replied, "Please be nice to my friends. They can also become your friends." Jin knew that Yona was joking with those words. Yona said, "It's my first time talking comfortably with someone else besides Sir Owl and father." Jin replied, "I think you suit being a florist more than a killer. How about studying flowers from now? If you set up a shop in my territory, I'll stop by often." Jin should go and see the nameless king now. After hearing that, Yona said goodbye to Rudy because she had a mission that had not been carried out. While carrying flowers, Jin has a plan to meet Sir Owl. After a few minutes of searching, finally Jin met Sir Owl, who was smoking. Sir Owl said, "It seems like you've talked things through with Yons. I knew that I was waiting to. I've already prepared what you've requested before we started the game. Although you didn't listen to me, both interim patriarchs are alive and I acquired a silver dragon's claw. Everything went well, which is why I'm listening to your request." Jin said, "I didn't know you liked to boast." Sir Owl replied, "You occasionally overstep. Are you being arrogant because you're now on friendly terms with Yona?" Jin replied, "I got carried away because I want to be close with you two. Because I believe that you and I want the same thing, a minimum of 5 years. That's the amount of time I can delay Sister Yona's return to the family. That's possible for a mere reserve flag bearer like you. Can you take responsibility for what you said and the reason?" Jin said, "She suit being a florist. As you may know, for someone who has so many emotions, being an assassin does not suit her. She is simply more talented at killing than others. I want her to be with people who understand her, and I think that after she retires, running a flower shop suits her. Sir Owl wants to make Yona happy at all cost." And Jin Rungcandle promised to make Yona happy with that plan. And Jin will also leave Samil. Jin will take Dante and Veridon, so we won't cause Sir Owl any more trouble from today. Then Sir Owl told Jin to leave as soon as possible from Samil. A week later, 2 soldiers are walking in the mountain area. This is the Black Sea. It's tumultuous, but it's strangely clean around here. Did someone clear out this area? And there they had a meeting with some important people. Unexpectedly, there's Chiron Rungcandle, the clan leader who is feared by everyone, Kashmir, and the Nameless King. With them here, I can't talk about marrying the kids off. The Ice Queen and the Ghost Sword too. It'll be difficult for me to bring up Jin and Yona. I'm sure Ms. Talaris came here to talk about the engagement. And who's the other guy? Sit, Kashmir. I'm the one who called you here. My apologies. Talaris, the unwelcome guests are not him, but you and Owl, he said. Owl? That's the name of the Nameless King. Did something happen to young Master Jin? No. It hasn't been long since young Master Jin left for Samil. What the hell happened in that short amount of time? Saral said, you already had an appointment. Chiron said, I called you here to have a drink with me, but let's do that after the other to leave. I hope you understand. Kashmir replied, of course. That's not a problem, Sir Chiron. Alright, is the youngest doing well? Young Master Jin left Samil around the time I left to come here. The reason was to train in preparation for poison and assassination. Why does he always go to where the danger is? What'll happen to my daughter if he dies? To be honest, I came here to talk about him. It's not something I would like to share in front of the Ice Queen and Ghost Sword, just say it. The Ice Queen is one of my friends, which I have very few of. And the Ghost Sword is very tight-lipped, so there won't be a problem. The claw of a sliver dragon. How amusing. Even you couldn't predict that. So, what was the youngest request you accepted? He asked to clear the record of him coming to Samil. From everyone, excluding the civilians, nameless cadets, and killers. The story begins with a fight in Samil. Someone is hit by an attack. One soldier lost to the enemy's successive attacks. Don't be flustered, they're just mere killers. What is the meaning of this? Is Nameless really not afraid of the Rung Candle family's wrath? I don't know why you are doing this, but we are the Rung Candle interim patriarchs. One soldier finally lost because he didn't focus on the battle. On the one hand, the assassins of Samil appear themselves. We killed the knights who were chasing after the reserve flag bearer. The youngest flag bearer noticed and asked, and you're worried that I'll ask you to pay because of that, although it's embarrassing to say, because it was just a couple of knights. He has an eye for purging, that wicked child. Don't worry. There would have been no problem even if you killed hundreds. I'm very thankful that you understand what this junior of yours feels. But Sir Chiron, apologies, but there is one more thing I would like to say. Please read this note. I think the youngest flag bearer left this in Samil before he left. This isn't something I should reveal in front of the Ice Queen and the Ghost Sword. And Chiron was surprised by the contents of the letter. The story continues. They're sleeping without a care in the world. I came to get my sword before I meet the Nameless King. Did I just the medicine wrong? Whatever. Sleep well. You guys have gone through hell since you arrived, so it makes sense you're all tired. While taking poison, Jin was surprised to find a piece of paper. And the letter said, Hi Jin, my youngest brother. That's the elixir of 10,000 poisons. If you drink this and max out your mind's eye, no other killer will be able to kill you. It will be hard for me to do that as well. And when the time comes, I won't be able to give you a surprise gift. What a shame. Anyways, see you next time Jin. Be well. And happy birthday. From your beloved older sister. Jin said, That's right, I forgot about it when I came here. Although it's a little too early. Jin said, Also have a gift to give you, elder sister. The story returns to Chiron, who was reading a letter containing, Since Sister Yona gave me the elixir of 10,000 poisons, please negotiate with my father about the Skretly Nameless King. It is equivalent to the elixir of 10,000 poisons in value, so it'll be enough to ask delay Sister Yona's return. Although this method is despicable, I also kept my promise, so I trust that you will also keep the promise you made with me. If Yona puts her mind to it, I also find it difficult to find her. She was already gone. Beside, a little note, I was backstabbed several times. Chiron laughed loudly at Sir Owl's tense expression. You fell for that child's play even though you're above him? Don't tell me this is a plan you both made because you want to keep Yona. It wasn't just you who fell for it. I did too. I will officially send you an invitation, so visit the Garden of Swords soon. Let's discuss this matter then. Kashmir, I'm curious about what you have to say too. He replied, Yes, it's about the death of Kedart Hall, the Archmage. I've come here to tell you that young Master Jin was behind it. Chiron said, I see. Can the unwelcome guest leave now? I would like to drink with the Ghost Sword. Then this junior of yours will now take his leave. She said, I can stay, right? I already know everything. Chiron replied, No, you leave too because this is an important conversation. I'm going to spread rumors about what power your son has to my boyfriends. Stop saying ridiculous things and leave. The story continues. Jin is emoting two of his friends by telling them to leave quickly. We were tired when we found you, but now we're even more tired. If you have a conscience, you should stay with us for a few more days. Then Jin began to stress out with the behavior of the two of them. Aren't you both interim patriarchs? Jin said, You shouldn't be wasting your days here. Why are you here? They replied, I'll get busier when I become the patriarch, which means I can't see you. And our families are in a bloody feud, Jin said. Before that happens, you should be concerned about becoming the patriarch. Don't worry about that. No matter what happens, my position is solidified, so I can still become the patriarch. Danny's grandfather, the Harrian patriarch, is personally supporting him. Sorry, but unlike you both, I'm very busy. Didn't Kedart Hall die not long ago? I told you it wasn't me. You're treating us like strangers again, and you don't think about the things you don't tell me. Are you going to continue being petty? Won't the amount of time we can spend together decrease when you become a flag bearer? Like Veridon said, if we become patriarchs, we really might not be able to see you anymore. Then we should have fun before that time comes. Don't you need a reputation in order to become a flag bearer? You said you weren't behind Kedart Hall's death, so it can't be helped. So just travel with us. We'll help you build your reputation. How about helping people? Good idea, let's catch highly wanted criminals. The kings of Mammoth, Jackalow, the rabid dog of West Beemit, or the recently active Dark Magic Association's rebels, or Willick, Vankella's sinful knight, or the Panther of the Red Guards. Are you suggesting the three of us go on an adventure? That's impossible. Then they offer consent to become adventurers. But Jin thought it was impossible to join them. At the same time, Jin woke up, but he was in bed. He was surprised at how he got home. Jin remembered that he was drunk with Veridon and Dante, and the last thing he remembered was that he left using the teleportation gate, and Jin is still confused because his body feels fresher. At the same time, Miss Enya also woke up. Jin remembered something about the elixir of 10,000 poisons. He drank it after he got here, and then he passed out after drinking it. You fainted. Within a few minutes, your body turned dark, and that process repeated. At the same time, Miss Enya was surprised by the arrival of Miss Quicontel. She asked about the state of Jin who fainted after drinking elixir of 10,000 poison. It's been 5 days. Usually those who drink the elixir of 10,000 poisons are out for a month in order to get used to it. I think you woke up early thanks to the great physique the rung candles are blessed with. Jin was happy because he woke up quickly like usual. He said, "Did anything happen while I was sleeping?" She replied, "Nothing really. Besides Sir Kashmir returning." Miss Gilly left for a moment. There was an urgent summons from the family, so she used the teleportation gate at dawn today and traveled toward Rung Candle. To the main house, Gilly would return quickly, so it isn't something bad. Then Enya asked permission to go out and tell the others if Jin was awake. The story continues where Jin is looking with a purple drink in front of him. It's nothing weird. Think of this as a celebration for waking up early. Jin immediately drank it without checking first. So, how do you feel? My stomach feels a little hot, but that's all. It's a poison I ordered that jet bastard to get from the black market. It's lethal poison that will instantly kill anyone who's not a 7-star or above with one gulp. Why the hell did you feed to someone who just woke up? Moroccan played a stupid prank. But with this, the elixir of 10,000 poisons has been absorbed into your body well. Congratulations, there are no poisons in this world that can kill you. Then you should keep your promise. As payment for Miss Quicontel's class, Jin will help Miss Naya with her training. Enya is training well, but she's only well versed in theory, and she has never done anything practical. If she ever needs to capture an opponent, Enya does not have any experience in that. Jin said, "Do you really need to make Miss Enya do those things?" She replied, "Jin Rung Candle, everyone here is your comrade. When you fight against your siblings in the future, it means we will support you too." Do you meant that Enya doesn't need to fight when that time comes? It seems like she's scolding me. Outside the room, Enya listened to all of Jin's talks. Enya needs to become stronger. Strong enough that you can call her your comrade. Don't worry, I just decided what our next destination is. After hearing all of Jin's talk, Enya went straight into the room with a happy expression. And she felt happy because she felt she was going on a date with Jin. Meanwhile, in the Garden of Swords, something interesting happened at Samil. In front of the room, there are 2 guards on standby. Their Chiron was interrogating Joshua and asked, "Is something wrong?" because Yona was late to return. On the other hand, Sir Al and Gilly saw Joshua who was being interrogated. Chiron is still trying to get Joshua to talk about what he's hiding, but he's still silent and scared. Joshua thinks if I tell him about it, I'll die. Seeing that Joshua would not talk, Chiron took the glove and said, "I will make you talk, Joshua." Chiron slapped Joshua with the iron glove with 2% power. Shocked face, panic, pain, all felt by Joshua. It was very painful. Chiron's face was emotional while saying, "Stand up, Joshua, are you that weak?" Joshua stood up, with a resigned face that could do nothing. A second punch was delivered to Joshua's face, causing him to spit red liquid from his mouth. At the same time, Gilly closed her eyes, unable to watch Joshua's torture. Joshua bowed his head. Chiron ordered Joshua to open the black metal armor on his body. The armor was in the form of a black singlet with wing-like paintings. Chiron was very disappointed with Joshua because he was the second flag bearer in Rung Candle, but was defeated by the youngest who was only a temporary flag bearer. The third punch went right into Joshua's stomach, and he immediately fell down in pain. Meanwhile, Sir Al didn't expect Joshua to be like this, and Chiron will not give mercy to anyone who dares to touch Yona. Chiron discusses the armor that Joshua is wearing is still pure, and there are no battle marks. Basic coward, the word that Chiron said to Joshua. At the same time, Chiron stood upright and said that he would revoke the title of flag bearer on Joshua. In a state of trembling body, Joshua fell silent hearing his father's words. Helped by the soldier, he stood up to leave the room. In the hallway, his brother laughed evilly at the sight of Joshua being beaten. But in the depths of Joshua's heart, he was angry, resentful, frustrated with the situation. After Joshua left, Chiron called Gilly to ask if the youngest was okay. Gilly explained that the youngest was fine. He was resting after drinking the 10,000 poisons elixir obtained from Samil. Chiron ordered Gilly to give the armor to the youngest and convey all these events to him. With the bow of her head, She accepted all of Chiron's request. At the same time, the youngest was surprised. Gilly explained that Joshua was punished by your father. The black metal armor was handed to the youngest. It turned out that the metal armor was made 30 years ago by the legendary blacksmith Pick and Minch. The youngest was thinking of a way to inflict damage on the armor. Otherwise, it would be a serious problem because he couldn't use Yona anymore for negotiations with his father. Gilly was immediately surprised to hear the reason Joshua was beaten, because he dared to touch Yona. Jin remembered Yona's words, that Yona and he both had secrets. To clear his mind, the youngest has a plan to go to a place that is magic. The goal is to eradicate the Black Magic Association rebels. They are a guild that was subdued 100 years ago, but lately the guild is still around. Like a barren desert, this is the southern region of Beemit. Guess who it is? Yes, it's Miss Enya in disguise, because this used to be her area. So, don't let anyone recognize her. The Dark Magic Association, an organization that reached its peak 100 years ago. As the name implies, they glorified the magic of the dark world. And when they were at their peak, they made such an impact that the entire continent was in a terrible state. The person who had disbanded them was Real Zipf. For the first and last time, that woman used annihilating 1,000 fires, Mako, first form, to kill the leader of the Dark Magic Association. Real Zipfel was Sadare's previous contractor, and in Jin's previous life, Sadare wanted me to follow in her path. But Jin had to become stronger and pass the test that Real Zipfel left behind. At the same time, Miss Enya explains the associate members of Dark Magic are just bad people who kidnap children. As a result, the people there always look gloomy and unhappy. The youngest had a reason why he thought that if Beemit didn't eradicate the Dark Magic Association, it was to give the Witch Academy a chance to act. Miss Enya was surprised by the youngest's detailed thinking. A few minutes later, the sound of a horse-drawn carriage was heard. The noble academy witches appeared in the crowd of people. One witch who looked old just kept silent, not showing a happy face with their arrival, because the academy witches only showed their arrogance. Jin commented, they would all die. They couldn't possibly defeat the Dark Magic Association. The story continues with a freshly fried fish on the plate. The two of them disguised themselves as sisters having lunch. Ms. Enya asked the youngest, why do you think the academies will all die, even though they are all 4 stars? That's why they will die, because they have no combat experience. Unlike the people from the Dark Magic Association, they are veterans who have lived with suffering. Jin looked back while watching their behavior. They laughed loudly because they were happy that there were people begging for help. At the same time, the youngest invited Ms. Enya to go, but she didn't hear Jin. She looked frightened by something. She still remembers when she was in the Beemit. She was often bullied and laughed at by the 3 of them. When she was called for the 3rd time, Miss Enya just realized. Jin predicted that Miss Enya must have had a problem with the 3 of them. Jin got even more annoyed with their behavior. When he stood up and left the dining table, Rudy looked at them with an intimidating look. One of them looked at the youngest and asked, who are you? You don't look like a waitress. Rudy didn't respond to them, but he was looking at Miss Enya trembling and scared. Then the silver-haired boy stood up and pointed a magic wand and asked about the organization. The youngest didn't answer because he was confused about the name of the organization. At the same time, the shop owner came out to stop them, but he was hit with a magic wand and the shop owner fell down in pain. Jin was exasperated by his taunts, so he clasped his hands. Not waiting long, a punch landed on the academy cadet's face. His 2 friends were surprised at the audacity of the youngest who dared to hit a nobleman. They planned to retaliate and restrain the youngest from running away. But Jin ignored them and went outside. The fat student was sweating, seeing the aura that Rudy gave off. He also told him about the troops of the 1st Bureau of the 3rd Division. Ms. Enya was confused about the meaning of the special forces that the youngest said. They thought all of Jin's talk was just nonsense and told Jin not to pretend to be them. While sighing, the youngest used his 2 fingers to make magic. They were still talking a lot, not realizing their bodies were hit. A few seconds later, they were bowed down in pain, unable to breathe. Their throats seemed to be blocked. Then Jin told them to stand up, stop bullying the weak. Otherwise, Jin would drag them to the interrogation room. Academy students were scared, asking for a chance to make amends. Then Jin gave them a task. He would act as your servant and watch right from your side. They were shocked by Rudy's strange plan. Took too long to answer. Rudy intimidated them with magic, so that they agreed. In the same time, Jin approached Enya and said, how was my acting? Then Jin told Miss Enya to take turns acting. Ms. Enya excitedly told them to move. They could only surrender and follow orders. Jin saw Enya's behavior and was very happy and satisfied because indirectly Rudy had helped her get back at bullying. 2 weeks later, October 22nd, 1796, the cadets gathered to begin clearing operations and organize strategy. One of the cadets whispered, doesn't one of the dark magic people have a 7-star mage. Are we going to be okay? In the back row, the silver-haired student glanced back at Jin and Anya's behavior. The first group started walking through the forest. Just walking a few steps, Jin felt something strange. Suddenly an orc appeared in front of them with a large body. All the cadets panicked, screaming, because it was the first time they saw a large orc. But there was one cadet who used elemental magic. The magic directly hit the orc's body. The orc bounced back and died immediately. The cadets laughed, underestimating the orc monster and the dark magic members. The head member suggested resting in the open, but Jin knew it was a very dangerous thing. An intimidating face appeared. Jin told him to talk to the member leader to change places. But the chief member was ignorant of those words, still chose to rest here and put up protection. After the break was over, they found the mouth of the cave. The head member told the arch leader to stay here and wait for the other groups, while he entered first along with several cadets. On the way, suddenly the wall beside one of the students exploded. An orc appeared behind the wall explosion. One of the students shouted to the arch leader for orders, but the chief member was in the enemy's place. Betrayed, with an evil smile, he said he would kill them all to be used as research subjects. The students were terrified, unable to do anything, planning to run out of the cave. Before they left the cave, the chief member ordered all the orcs to capture them all. At the same time, he was surprised that there was a bright blue light. He looked up. There was a big blob of magic energy. His face panicked seeing that, not believing that someone was using that magic. On the other hand, Jin told Enya to stay close to him, because the situation would now become chaotic.